Let's talk about macros in Apex. And no, not my friend macro. I'm talking about the things where you can bind one button to do multiple buttons in a certain sequence and or help you control recoil if you do like a script for it. And I should mention macros are pretty much only usable on PC and controller can benefit from using them. That's how they can tap strafe if you have Steam. They're banned in LGS, but they're not banned in the game itself. Sort of like how knockdown shields that are gold are banned in LGS, but they're allowed in ranked, in pubs. The first macro, which is like the most common, would be the tap strafe macro. You can bind your forward key on M&K, which is W, and jump to one button, basically doing it at the same time, making it a lot easier to use. Bind it to scroll wheel, and then you can just jump, scroll wheel, and turn, making it really simple to tap strafe. Now this can be used in pretty much the exact same way on controller, although on controller you have to have your sense cracked to the max because you can't really whip a nay-nay with low sense on controller. You'll be turning like an actual sentry turret. Now the next macro is a super glide macro where you can just mount a surface and glide forward a lot further and faster than pretty much any other method for traversing said ledge. The macro for super gliding makes it so it lowers your frame rate, making it easier to super glide because for some reason, a lower frame rate means you'll be more consistent at super gliding. And if you watch Tfue, he uses a super glide macro and I believe also the tap strafe macro, which is why he can super glide very effortlessly, really consistently. Like not many folks are hitting super glides like that often, and it's because of the macro. So far, what do y'all think about these macros? Are they fair? Are they unfair? What do you feel? Because the next macro is the one that I think is flat out not cool. This is the recoil script / macro. It's basically jitter aiming, but you don't have to jitter, which jitter aiming is pretty easy to an extent, but you still have to like spaz out your hand and you won't be as accurate trying to track someone. But imagine if like the game was jitter aiming for you and all you had to do is track somebody with no recoil whatsoever. It'd be pretty easy, right? If it was just a point and click adventure with like a flatline from deep, all you need is a sight. And you're good. If you can just see the person, you can track them and they'll die. That is more or less what the recoil script does. I'm not sure if it uses jitter aiming to make it easier to control the recoil, but someone on TikTok showed that you can use pretty much the same pattern for all weapons and it will work to an extent. What do y'all think about that? That's the video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.